Hey everyone! Happy Friday, you guys. Hopefully you all are having a great day today. Maybe you're being productive, maybe you're having a lazy day, cleaning day, whatever it is, I hope you are enjoying your day. Anyway, I have a couple of quick, simple, and easy fall DIYs to share with you guys using a bunch of items from the Dollar Tree. So let's just jump right to it. For the first two projects, I'm going to be using these ornaments. They are in a pumpkin shape. They come in a pack of 8, so I'm separating them into 2 groups, 4 in each group. And I'm just going to start by painting one group in my white Waverly chalk paint, and then I'm going to paint the other group using my pumpkin color from Apple Barrel Paint. So like I said, I am going to start by painting the first group with that white chalk paint, and I'm going to paint all over. I'm going to paint the front, the back, and the sides as well. I just want everything to be covered. After I do have everything covered, I'm taking a wet cloth and I'm just kind of wiping away some of that paint just so I can have some of the natural wood color showing through, and that was just personal preference. I just kind of wanted it to be like more muted rather than super bright and bold and like in your face. The orange color here is a little bit more bold, but I am going to do the same thing with the wet cloth. I'm just going to be wiping some of that color away so that way you have some of that like natural wood grain type of thing showing through. So here I have my 2 groups, and once those are done drying, I'm going to take out my letters from Dollar Tree, my little wood letters, and I picked out double sets of letters to spell fall, 1 for each group of pumpkins. And then for the first set, I'm just going to be taking my brown Waverly wax and I'm just going to paint the letters all over using the wax, and then I'm going to be using the wet cloth again just to remove some of that excess wax off of there. Here you can see it kind of has some of that wood grain coming through. Just personal preference. I really liked the way it looked, not having it be so bold. The other set of letters I left as is. I did not paint or do anything to them. So once I was done letting the first set of letters dry, I'm taking E6000 and hot glue and just gluing one letter on each of the pumpkins to spell out fall. And then again, I'm just going to be doing the same thing on the orange pumpkins. And then my next step is to take some jute twine from Dollar Tree and then these raw wooden beads that I ordered from Amazon. And I'm just kind of playing around with how I want the beads to go. Did I want the beads all the same size or whatnot? So on the ends, I did 2 smaller beads with 1 larger bead in the middle and then ended with 2 small beads. Then I strung on one of the pumpkins, and in between each of the pumpkins, I did a small bead, a large bead, and then a small bead, and then added another pumpkin and so forth. And I just continued that pattern until I had all of the pumpkins strung on. And then I'm taking this gingham black and white ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'm cutting them in strips of 4 for each group, of course. And then after that, I'm taking the little jute twine pieces that came with the ornaments, and I'm just going to be using those to make a couple of bows to go on each of the pumpkins. So I'm just making a super simple bow. You're going to cross it in the front, and then the loop, you're just going to press it down in the middle, and that is where you're going to tie your jute string. So I'm going to do that 8 separate times, and then once I am done, I just dovetailed the ends of those bows, and then I'm just going to take some hot glue and glue each of those, one on each of the pumpkins. And here's how the orange garland turned out. Super, super cute. I really love the orange with the black and the white together, just the pop of color. Super, super adorable. And I really love just the way the natural letters look with the natural beads. Feel free to do whatever color your heart desires. So for the white pumpkins, I did basically the same exact thing, except for I stained the beads with that antique wax just so the beads would match the letters that were on the pumpkins. But everything was exactly the same. I did the same pattern and strung them on, the same way. And here's how they both look together. I love them, super adorable. I really wanted to bring you like a more neutral, maybe farmhousey look, and then another one that's like has like a more traditional fall colored scheme, I guess. So just want to show you that, each little color scheme that you got going on, that's still going to look so beautiful, and there's just so many possibilities of how these could turn out. I know they have like some cute little fox patterns out there at Dollar Tree as well, or like leaf patterns that would look really cute also. All right, for the next 3 projects, I'm going to be using this piece of fabric that's from Dollar Tree. Really cute fall pattern, Grateful, Thankful, Gather. Loved it, super cute. And yes, I'm only using 1 piece of fabric for the 3 projects, which I think is really cool. I just wanted to maximize some of these items to show you that you can make more than 1 project using, you know, a $1 item from Dollar Tree. So I just started by cutting 1/3 of the fabric off, and then I took my Cricut heat press just to smooth out the wrinkles and the creases in there. I think it just makes the project, you know, the items look so much better without all those creases. And then I'm folding it in half, but folding the pattern on into itself. And then I'm just gluing down 2 of the sides. So the longer side and then the bottom. And I did decide that like it was too rectangular, so I cut 1/3 again off the bottom just to make it look more square. Then I glued half of that 1/3 side just so I can fold it out, you know, right side out basically. And then I'm going to use the open side to take some of my stuffing, and I'm going to just start stuffing this pillow completely full. I'm just going to start at each of the corners, and I'm going to keep fluffing and, you know, filling it up until it is nice and plump and full. And then I'm taking my hot glue again and just folding that piece that's open into itself, just so it looks like the rest of the seam on the pillow that I had already glued when I turned it right side out. So after it's done drying, you kind of just got to give it a little smack in here and there, a little pillow massage, you know, to kind of smooth out all the fluff and make sure it's nice and even. And that was it. You have a cute little decorative pillow. Look how adorable. Love it. It's the perfect size just to throw on like a little side chair or whatnot. Maybe you have a cute little basket that has blankets, like, you know, decorative blankets in it or something. Super adorable, and it's just so easy to make. So for the next one, I'm going to be using that leftover piece of fabric that I cut, you know, the 1/3 off of there. And then I'm cutting that piece in half, and then again taking my Cricut heat press to smooth out the wrinkles in there. Again, the same thing, folding the pattern into itself and gluing 2 of the sides. And then this time, I'm going to be taking my jute twine and my raw beads, and I'm going to be making a hanger that goes onto the top of this. So it's going to be like a decorative hanging pillow, like for your door, for a pantry door, front door, bedroom door, wherever you want to put it. So I'm just kind of measuring the jute twine to the piece of fabric that I have, just to eyeball it to see how long I want it to hang. And then I'm just going to, you know, cut that string off and then string those beads, you know, until it's the length that I desire. And then I'm just taking my hot glue and adding a strip in the middle, but leaving the 2 ends open. And then I'm just going to turn the little pillow right side out. And obviously I'm going to take my fluff again and fluff that pillow nice and full. Here you can see one of the sides that I left open, adding some hot glue and sticking one side of the little strand of beads in there. And then I'm just going to glue that fabric, you know, onto itself to close it up. And here is the second hole that I left open, doing the same thing, adding the other side of the little strand of beads in there. Again, giving it a little pillow fluff. And then here you go. You have a cute little decorative door hanger for front door, bedroom, wherever you want to put it. Maybe you can put it on a tiered tray or something like that. It might be small enough for a tiered tray, or if you want to make it like a size down just to fit the size of your tiered tray, by all means, I think that would be super cute also. So for the next piece of fabric, because I cut it in half, I did the same exact thing. I made a decorative pillow, but this time with a strand of beads, I hung it more in like a circular pattern, and then I just glued it on one side of the little pillow just so it can hang on the side. I just wanted to give you like 2 separate looks and just some options that you can do with these decorative pillows. Okay, so on to my last project. I'm just going to be starting with this thankful sign from Dollar Tree. I removed the hanger off the back, and then I took my drill and a smaller drill bit, and I drilled a hole on top of the H and then on top of the F. Here you can see that little hole. It's just a nice small hole. I just want to fit some jute twine in there. Next, I'm taking this pumpkin colored chalk paint from Waverly and just giving that like an all over kind of whitewash type of look on there. I did have some of the natural colors still showing through. And then I'm taking my brown antique Waverly wax and just kind of distressing it and aging this a little bit. It has more of a rustic look. So once I was done with the wax, I'm just taking that pumpkin color and just lightly going over some of the areas just to lighten it up. And here is how that process turned out. I think it's very, very cute, very rustic, and I was just loving it. Then I'm taking this pumpkin wreath from Dollar Tree, and I just took some cheap white spray paint from Walmart and just gave that a coat of the white paint. Next, I'm taking my jute twine, and I'm going to be stringing it through each of those holes that I made on the thankful sign. And I'm cutting 2 separate strands of the jute because I'm just going to be threading each strand through one of the holes. And then I'm just lining up the thankful sign in between that wreath. And then I'm just going to measure where I need to tie off each of those jute strands. I just want the thankful sign to be like even, straight. Make sure it's not too crooked as possible, as less crooked as possible. Not as crooked, I don't know, something like that. You get my drift though, right? So I'm just going to make sure that it hangs even and straight across as much as possible. Then I'm going to tie it off, and then I'm just snipping off the excess pieces of the jute and then adding some hot glue just to reinforce those knots at the top. After that, I decided to take some raffia and kind of go on the top of the pumpkin wreath form and just kind of wrap it around here and there, really adding to that like rustic look. But I also wanted to cover up the knots that I made from the jute twine. I just wanted to have those be like kind of hidden, incognito. So this was my idea to kind of solve that problem. And I just wrapped it around here and there and had, some of the ends sticking off to the sides, kind of looking like little pumpkin leaves or, what have you. And then I'm just adding some more raffia here and there just to kind of fill in those gaps a little bit more. Then I took some burlap, like a cream colored burlap from Walmart, and I cut a good chunk off because I'm going to make like a cinched bow. So I'm just folding the 2 halves into each other right in the middle, gluing it, and then I'm just going to cinch it in the middle, taking some jute twine to tie it off. And then I'm going to be using that piece of jute twine to tie it to the pumpkin form. So I just tied this one next to the little stem of the pumpkin. I thought that was a really cute spot, And then I'm just going to add some hot glue on the back just to, again, reinforce it so it doesn't go anywhere. After that, I'm taking some leftover strips that I had of that fabric that I used for the pillows, and then some more of that gingham ribbon as well. And I'm making an X crisscross bow. Super simple. You're just taking a couple of pieces of ribbon, and then you're just going to line them up in an X pattern. And once you have it, full enough or as many pieces of ribbon that you want, you're just going to take jute twine and tie off the middle there. And that simple, you have a cute little crisscross bow. So once I was done making that bow, I was just kind of playing around with it. I did take some more of the extra fabric that I had and that ribbon, and I made 2 more smaller bows to go on there as well. I just wanted it to be nice and full, and I thought the ribbon or like the bows were like a really cute accent to it. So I made a couple more of those, and then I'm just placing each of those onto the pumpkin where I see fit. But after that, I was looking at the crisscross bow, and I decided that I wanted it to go underneath the larger burlap bow, but I wanted them to be on each side of the bow, and it was already together. So I just tied a second piece of jute, leaving a gap in the middle, and that's where I'm going to cut it apart away from each other. So that way I have 2 sides that kind of look like a little V or like a tail feather type of thing. So then I'm just going to take one piece and glue it on each of the sides of that burlap bow right underneath there. And that was personal preference, honestly. I just thought it was a cute little accent to that burlap bow. And there you have it. Here is how the little pumpkin wreath form turned out. How adorable. I love, love, love this one. I really love how that thankful sign just hangs in there, and it fits so perfect. I really love the like cream but rustic like vibe this one's got going on. I think it is totally cute. So you'll have to let me know what you think of this one down below. But that is all I have for you guys. So I'm just going to do a quick little walkthrough of all of these finished projects. I cannot wait to hear which one is your favorite. Which one are you going to try? I think they are all so adorable, and they are so simple and quick and easy to make and really budget friendly. Like, I made 3 little pillows out of 1 piece of fabric, and I just had to add some beads and some jute twine, hot glue, all of that good stuff that we should already have on hand as crafters. This little pillow, though, one of my faves from the projects that I made today. I think it is so cute, and it really accents my little area that I've got going on with like my fall decor and my cute little fluffy rug and Hello Fall pillow. Obsessed. And then this wreath, though, this pumpkin wreath form, probably my favorite. I love the way it turned out. Something different. I haven't seen like anyone hang the thankful sign in there before, so I just was trying to come up with something new with this, for these pumpkin wreath forms, because they are really popular every year. A lot of people like to do a lot of different things with these wreath forms, and it's all about like, trying to come up with new ideas. So hopefully you guys like this one. Let me know what you think. And these little garlands, though, oh my goodness. I did make this one last year. I did do basically the same exact look, but I did not film it. So I decided that I would film it for you guys this year, just so you can have a kind of like, step-by-step tutorial. But I really love the way that the orange one turned out. So stinking cute. Love the pop of orange. I'm digging the orange colors this year, actually. I guess I'm doing more of a traditional look, but like still trying to add some neutral and like farmhouse vibes in there, I guess you could say. I don't know. But let me know down below what your guys' color scheme for fall is this year. I would love to hear about it. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys next time.